Well, hey everybody. It's been like a million years since I did an update, and I do believe it was fall, just after we moved into the new place. So, today is a spring update. Porch is last on our list, so it needs windows. But it's not the porch that needs it. Everything else needed. The whole house needed new windows, so those are done except for one. Now they have to be wrapped. So, show you the spring update on plants. Moved a lot of trays up here to the front porch. And I'll show you the ones in the basement shortly. And everything's pretty much ready to be transplanted. The ones that weren't set in bigger pots soon have to be transplanted. Like I've transplanted peppers over here, and I have some mountain bluette, which is a cousin of the aster, very cool perennial. More peppers, Malaysian dark red eggplant, ping tong. Oh, tasty evergreen. So there's a couple tiny tomatoes in there. Most of the tomatoes are here and here. These two trays, and then more in the basement. These two trays here are cabbage, and that tiny one is kale, and then the ones on the floor are herbs, basil and yarrow. More basil started up here. And let's take a short house tour. Okay, got most of all the books unpacked and built a shelf out of wood and block that we found here that was in the shop and on the property. It's made of concrete block. Some of those boards, those bottom two boards, are from a lot of wood left over from a shed, a big shed project. Wasn't our project, but it was nice to have the wood available. The living room is painted. Sorry, disaster in here, but wanted to show you the wood stove, which worked great this whole winter. The last time we got propane was February, and it was $80 bill, so it was only 50 gallons. And when I looked the other day on the tank, it still says 70%, and it's almost May. Now we're down in the dungeon. No, we're down in the basement, and these are the shelves and the setup I used for most of the seed starting. It's kind of hard to show you, but I've got this fabric that we used in the greenhouse on the back, and we put Reflectix, which is kind of like silver bubble wrap. You buy it, it's insulation. And then there are 3 of these 4 shelves have seed mats. Not all of them, but they really were needed for the eggplant. This tray of eggplant, I'm trying a homemade, oh, look at that stupid beetle. Homemade seed block maker. And I'm not sold on the soil blocks. Sorry, soil blocks. I'm not sold. I made my own. I'm not sold on it. I'll probably just be trapped in trays forever. But I like the concept, but they just fall apart. So I have all these seeds left to stick, and those are just starting inside. And there'll be succession planting for basil and other herbs. These peppers, a lot of these are red habaneros or in sunbright yellow. And that is one of my favorite tomatoes, Principe Borghese, as a drying tomato. We have salvia and eggplant and blue hyssop, and I did find a root beer hyssop that is down here, right down here. This is it. I wonder if it smells like it. Oh, it kind of does. Interesting. So these I still have yet to deal with. These smaller peppers, they need to be transplanted. These guys are pretty much good. And these guys are already transplanted. So let's go outside and meet the new addition. So, and that stand of timber is not very much, but we're like, I don't know how many, several, let's just say several pheasants live in there, and that's the only bit of timber around here for a ways, because most everything around us is farm ground, crop ground. We did have a tree that we had cut down. You can see it in the back. Let's see. That guy was leaning over the metal shed. So we had that one removed. And some other trimmed. And we had a family farm work day. So we have these ginormous piles. I'll show you the biggest one. Burn piles ready to go. But it's been so windy that we haven't been able to burn them. I have a couple lilacs here that I've trimmed. We've been taking out all the fence line here along this building. Hopefully we're going to be able to save, and we're going to tear off this part of the roof, rebuild this wall, and eventually that's going to be a greenhouse. So I won't have to start seeds inside. We'll see. It's not top of the list. We have other things to deal with, like hog panels that we can't get out of the ground because they're buried in. This tree is a silver maple, which most of them are here on this piece of property, and they're all pretty much hollow. So they last for about 40 some years, and then you got to cut them down. So I have trees coming in tomorrow that will be planted to kind of replace these. There are no nut trees on the property, so we don't have any squirrels. I haven't seen one squirrel. Pheasants galore, not one squirrel. Crazy, huh? So that old corn crib on the left, that eventually will go, but all that wood will be saved and shared, and the metal roofing will be saved also. Okay, Michigan Snow Pony Renee. Check these out. Do you see them? These guys are Kuni Kuni Ossabaw Cross. There's 3 littles. Peek, peek. Hi, little peek. Come on, little peek. Come on, little peek. They're so funny. And then the other 3 are medium to big pigs, is what we call them. Peek, peek. Do you like my pig calling? Come on, pig, pig. Come on. They're so cute, and they are so hungry all the time. I love it. That's Whitey. Is he? Oh, he's got a little bit of red hair, a little bit of ginger on his forehead between his ears. But they're all happy and content. They've been here about 3 weeks. And so far we're loving them being here. They let my son scratch them today, so that was cute. And they're all sold. With heritage meat like this, niche pork, can't beat it. I've eaten the same cross of meat, and I don't even want a fork. That fat is delicious. It just melts, and the meat is perfect. Right, Peek Peek? Hi, Peek Peek. Well, this is the big burn pile. It doesn't look very big, maybe to you guys, but it's pretty big because, excuse me, it has some hunka tree in there that was a dead trunk in the front yard that was kind of hideous looking. So we cut that out. And then I've trimmed the apple tree. I've got a bad pallet in there. Cut down a cedar tree, trimmed all the branches off, and saved the trunk. It is in with the fence post because it's a cedar. Why not save it? Make a great corner post. And this apple tree went down with the storm last year. On June 30th, we had terrible storms in this county, which a lot of people did. That was kind of a bad day, I think, for the Heartland. So we've trimmed it, and we're going to try and resurrect it. We did this in town with a plum tree that got damaged in the same storm, and a 15-foot plum tree. I got 40 pounds of plums off it even after the damage. And we've pulled it upright. This one has a lot more roots up than the other tree did, but hey, it's living, so why not try and save it? You see? And it's gonna be beautiful when it blooms. And I've eaten these apples when the tree was full and upright, and they're delicious. They're super great for baking, cooking. Heck, apples are great for eating. So we're gonna save this beauty. Well, so when we moved out here just in time to plant garlic. And it's coming up. It's mulched, but it needs to be remulched. I've got a good 2 rows. Can't tell you how long, but it's enough to have scapes to sell this season and more garlic. Yum. And my very favorite part. This is 2 acres of garden. Just recently been disked, and my tiller has been sick. First the starter broke, and then we couldn't get the starter on. And then it leaked gas. I went to go tilling, it was drip, 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 drip gas right out of the bottom of the tank. So I took it in today. They had the parts. Hopefully tomorrow is the answer. Tomorrow is tilling and all day Saturday. I'm gonna be whooped. So some of those new trees are gonna go over there. Those are not silver maples, and there's some mulberries down there. We've cut a lot of mulberries that are in the fence line. I just wish it would have been not windy enough this spring, less windy, I guess, to burn the whole fence line. But too windy, too risky. We got some of the ditch burned, which made me feel better. And all these leaves are from a nearby town that has a contract with the city, and they vacuum the leaves up at the curb, and taking them here or to other area farms, they save money because otherwise they have to go to the landfill and pay to dump them. So if they can take them close, nearby, they don't have to pay. So that saves them a lot of money. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 loads. Kind of hard to tell. These look like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, it's getting thick in here. 5, 6, maybe just right here. And then I don't know how many are over here. Let's look. I'll get on the other side. Oh, maybe just 2. Maybe just 2 big piles. So, anyway, that's the gist of my spread. I hope you like it. Anybody has time off of work, wants to volunteer to come to the Heartland, I'm just kidding. Happy spring. I'm glad to be in 2015. Thanks for watching.